Joined now by the head coach of the Mavericks, Mike. Congratulations on winning that first round series and advancing to the semifinal round. And we have Northern Michigan coming here on Friday. Let's talk a little bit about this weekend series first, and then maybe your thoughts on what we have with Northern Michigan coming to town.
Well, you know what? I think you can take what happened earlier in the year and kind of throw it out the window based on a few things. One, when we played them, it seemed like a year ago. Two, we were fortunate that we had gone through a bit unscathed at that time through this pandemic from a COVID standpoint, and they hadn't. And so, they're playing good hockey right now. There aren't many teams that go into Bowling Green and win 2 of 3. And you know what? I thought watching them on video, they're very convicted to what they're doing right now, defending. They've got some threatening offensive players. When you talk about Gantost, he's a very talented forward that plays with a bite. You've got Nardi, who I think's if you can be underrated with 30 points in college hockey in a shortened season, I think he is. I've got a ton of respect for him because of the way that he plays. Grant's got the group buying in right now to everything that they're doing, and they're doing it well. So we're going to have our hands full on Friday night, or Friday afternoon, I should say, against Northern Michigan.
Just a reminder to use the chat feature to ask your questions here. I'll go ahead and ask the second one. When the season started officially way back when, and it seems like a long time ago now, Mike, and you're looking at your schedule, and at the end of it is the WCHA format in which the highest remaining seed was going to have hosting. In the back of your mind, when you're looking at things, thinking about the possibility of what that'd be like, and here we are. It's kind of hard to believe, isn't it, that we're actually at this point in the season where we're about ready to conclude the WCHA season.
Well, as we're still going on, we're all in a day-to-day world. We're continuing to test up until we get to the tournament on Friday. Teams are coming in here on Thursday to get their pregame skate or day before game skate in. And for us, we're just going about our business every day. Now, that's what we've been used to. And what I mean by that is we were never guaranteed a weekend. And in fact, a couple of different times, Northern being one of them, Northern was supposed to be coming in here to play us at home and couldn't make it because of some COVID issues. So, for us, it's as everybody else at this time in college hockey, you're just trying to get to the next game. And we didn't really think about it at the beginning of the year, other than we wanted to have home ice in the playoffs for as long as we possibly could. And we're fortunate enough to have that right now. So now we've got to take advantage of it when we're playing here on Friday afternoon.
The 4 all WCHA goaltenders will be here this weekend. What does that say about the goaltending you have to face every night in the league?
Yeah, I think it says a lot, and not just the accolades, the recognition, but the numbers. When you start putting together the save percentage and the goals against that some of the guys that you're discussing, when you put it out there, they're pretty special numbers, even if you look at it nationally. So teams in our league play hard, and not that they don't in others, but they defend. And so we're going to have to, as you've seen even in our last series against Ferris State, you've got to earn everything that you get. So I think it says a lot about the goaltenders, and I don't think there's going to be an easy night no matter who you're playing.
Speaking of accolades, 3 of your players and Matt Leitner, Mark Michaelis, and Dryden McKay, each named to the all-decade team for the WCHA. How impressive is that honor for those guys?
Well, for me, as I was fortunate to be around, and I think it's pretty special for that group, just because you look at the history and you go through the record books for those guys here. It's going to take a lot to get them bypassed by many people, and the impact that they've had over that time, I think, is special, both on and off the rink. You look at Mark Michaelis chasing a dream now in the National Hockey League in Vancouver, and Matt Leitner's moved on to a different stage in his life. But the night in, night out benefit that this program had for those guys coming through our program, and then the WCHA as a whole, I think it just says a lot about him. I'm very happy for him to be recognized, and they put a lot of work into to get to that point. So I think it's a special honor.
Congratulations on being named Coach of the Decade for the 2010s. Mike, your thoughts on being named Coach of the Decade for the WCHA for the 2010s?
Well, thanks. And I think, with some of the guys that I've seen on that list, I've been fortunate enough to have relationships with those guys. Don Lucia, Dean Blaze, I was able to work with both those men. And so I was able to learn a lot from what they were doing and the success that they have had. When you start looking at those names, it's a very special honor. With that, the guys that should be getting the accolades for that are the players that you're talking about that are on that list, and the student athletes that I've been fortunate enough to coach over this time, and then the guys that have helped me do it, and Todd Canad, who again I talk about often about his impact on our program as the associate head coach and recruiting coordinator. Coaches only go as far as their players take them and their staff. And so I've been very blessed on both sides of that, and I appreciate the honor.
What areas do you want to clean up from last weekend's first round?
Well, I know we've got a short time here, so we've got to just get right to a couple of points. One, I think our special teams still have to continue to show themselves in a better light. That's one. Two, I'm just creating a little bit more offense and some second and third opportunities because I thought we played a little bit of perimeter, and I want to give Ferris State credit for making us play that way. I like that we defended. I like that we didn't give up a ton. And then we've just got to make sure we're staying out of the box. So for me, I'm hoping we can utilize our depth, play four lines, and have those four lines have an effectiveness for us so we can play at a pace that I think benefits us.
Reggie Lespin skating this week, or any update on the status?
Yeah, he's good.
Okay. Does your mindset or approach this weekend change at all with the single elimination format as opposed to playing a best 2 out of 3?
Yeah, I think it does. I think, you're living for that day. And not that you're not when you get to a series, but at the end of the day, it's win or go home in our season championship here. So, there's times where when you have somebody going on a weekend, you might wait a little bit longer to allow that person to get his game going in a given night. For here, if we've got some guys going, you're gonna see them get their ice time because you're trying to survive and move on. And so, yeah, I think you utilize some things a little bit differently. We're going to have last change. We want to try and take advantage of that for our matchups. And really just try and do everything that we can to take advantage of any opportunity we have, whether it's a matchup or whether it's trying to play with depth.